Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about determination of income and employment. So first we are going to discuss about what do you mean by this word aggregate demand. What is the meaning of the word aggregate demand? We can write it as AD, aggregate demand. Okay. So aggregate demand is what? Total expenditure of all the goods and services. So what is aggregate demand? If we define aggregate demand, how can we define it? Aggregate demand means this is the total expenditure of all the goods and services during the fiscal year, and there is a positive relationship between level of output and aggregate demand. So here we can tell level of output or employment. Okay, that means more the employment level, more will be the aggregate demand, or if the level of the output increases, aggregate demand also increases. So there is a positive relationship between output and aggregate demand. We can write AD equal to, that means aggregate demand equal to C plus I. Okay, we can write aggregate demand equal to C plus I. What is C? C here is a consumption expenditure and I is the investment. Okay, C is the consumption expenditure and I is the investment. That means consumption plus investment will give you aggregate demand. Okay, so this is a schedule. Here the income is given. This is the consumption column and this is the investment column. And this one is the AD, that means aggregate demand, which is C plus I. Okay, that means this is a summation of consumption plus investment. Now what we can observe from the schedule? First is that when your income is zero, okay, first is that when your income is zero, your consumption is not zero. When your income is zero, your consumption is not zero. That means at zero level of income also we need to consume something. Okay, and that means what? At the minimum expenditure, means this is termed as autonomous consumption, because some minimum expenditure is always essential in an economy. That means at zero level of income also, if you don't earn anything, then also you have to consume something. Without food you cannot survive. If you are not earning also, what you will do? From your past saving, or you will take a loan from the bank or from someone, from your relatives or from your friends. Okay, but you have to consume something. Okay, that means at zero level of income also you have to consume something, and that is called the minimum level of consumption. Okay, which is also termed as autonomous consumption. And next is what we can observe from here. As your income is termed as Y, as your income increases, your aggregate demand also increases. Suppose we add it, C plus I, that means here 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Okay, as your income increases, see, your income is increasing, your aggregate demand is also increasing. At high level of income, that means at high level of income, expenditure is less than the income. Why expenditure is less than the income? Because at high level of income you tend to save something. Okay, at high level of income you tend to save something. So from this schedule, all this we can able to observe. These are the things we can able to observe from the schedule. Next, so what is aggregate? Final goods and services or national product produced in an economy. Okay, aggregate supply means what? We can tell national product produced in an economy. This is the aggregate supply. What we can write? AS, that means aggregate supply will be equal to Y, which is equal to C plus S. Okay, aggregate supply equal to Y, which is equal to C plus S. Okay, that means what we can write? AS will be equal to C plus S. That means consumption plus savings. Aggregate supply means the income, and income what we can write? Consumption plus saving, or what we can write? AS will be equal to C plus S. That means consumption plus savings. This is the aggregate supply. Now if we draw one aggregate supply schedule, what we can observe from there? So this is the aggregate supply schedule. Now what we can observe from this schedule? What we can see that at 0 level of income your consumption is 80 and your saving is minus 80. That means at zero level of income you cannot save anything. At 0 level of income you cannot save anything. That is why your saving is minus 80. Okay, that is why your saving is minus 80. And AS means aggregate supply is what? C plus S. That means minus 80 plus 80. That means your aggregate supply will be 0 there. That means when your income is 0, your aggregate supply is also 0. Okay, and as your income increases, your aggregate supply also increases. Okay, as your income increases, your aggregate supply also increases, but your saving is also increasing. With the increase in income, your saving is also increasing, and the aggregate supply is also increasing. Okay, this all we can observe from the schedule. And your consumption is also increasing with the increase in income.